Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Southern Tea. It's the girl Lady J, back bringing you, my commentary on the latest in female rap and, urban news. So before I get into my video, I want you to go ahead and hit that thumbs up, comment, share, and baby, since you're here, subscribe to my channel, okay? So let's go ahead and get right into it. So there is a couple of things that I want to get into today. So I first want to start off with Cardi B. So Cardi B has taken to Twitter to defend herself against a viral TikTok video that was discussing the Saweetie low sales talk, which has been a hot topic on social media as of late. But the TikToker was basically saying y'all can't call out Saweetie without calling out the other rap girls because no one was really expecting Saweetie to sell crazy high numbers as is. Let's keep it a buck. And Cardi B was one of the rap girls he used to get his point across. So this is what he said.
Dudes in the industry right now and you couldn't sell. But do y'all talk about it? Nope. This girl hasn't been on no tours. This girl hasn't headlined no tours. But y'all don't bring it up. Like, if we're gonna talk about somebody in their sales and where their career is, keep it even. Usually you have 2 singles and then you release the album. She's then had WAP and Up, and an album was supposed to follow after that. What happened? She's scared to see those numbers. That's all it is. Oh, I forgot about the song with Lizzo. That shit flopped too. Because let's be for real and let's be honest. Y'all wasn't expecting much from Saweetie. But you have somebody like a Megan and a Cardi that are Grammy Award winning artists that can't sell, and y'all don't say nothing. Like, let's keep it even across the board. Y'all wasn't expecting Saweetie to come out here and sell 100K first week, 200, 300, 400K first week.
So let me know what you think about that. I think he does have a point to a degree. I think that Cardi is aware that her hype has declined and in turn might be nervous to see how her second album does in comparison to her first. Because like the TikToker said, usually after 2 or 3 singles, an artist will drop their album because you at least want some songs to help promote and sell the album before releasing it, unless you are a mega star like Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, Drake, or Kendrick Lamar or somebody. So Cardi dropped WAP in 2020 and a few months later dropped Up, and then Nothing Else until a few short months ago when she dropped Hot Shit. So it's like, where's the album at, sis? So once Cardi saw the video, she did have some comments, so this is what Cardi had to say. I'm never afraid of numbers, honey, and I don't gotta put out another album if I want to. I eats good off my diamond records alone. Don't drag other bitches to make your point. Drag the man that's running their mouth, grown man. Then Cardi went on to retweet a tweet from 2019 that talked about Cardi's quote-unquote arena tour becoming the first concert tour by a female rapper in history to average 1 million per show, which was not really a tour if you want to be technical, hence quotations, I suppose. Because doing a few shows and festivals here and there does not constitute a tour, sis. Sorry, not sorry. She has not headlined her own tour, which is where musicians are going to make the bulk of their money. So because there's very little money being made from streams compared to shows and tours, unless people are actually buying your music. So Cardi went on to say this. Mind you, it was only 7 shows. Let's not talk about numbers. Yeah, Cardi, let's not talk about them numbers because word on the street is you scared of them numbers when it comes to that second album because where is it, baby? Okay, so you putting out official singles but no album. All right, what happened to Cold Shit? I thought your records lived in the top 10 and that record is nowhere on Billboard Hot 100 as we speak, and you had 2 major artists on that song, baby. Okay, and then one user had tweeted this. You can't get mad that people think you're scared because if so, what's the holdup? You've been stringing your fans along for years and that is why you won't release. You're content with eating off your old records that most don't care about. So Cardi did respond and say this. I am human, baby, and when I drop my album, I'm touring the world. I gotta mentally and physically prepare myself for all that. I ain't have management for 2 years and now I'm feeling ready. I do things on my own time, my own way. No, babe, you do things on Atlantic's time, their way, okay? Let's not get shit confused, okay? Let's keep it a buck. Cardi then went on to say this. You know what? Let me hush. Less talk and more action for haters to have a reaction. Well, baby, take 6, okay, baby? Take 6, because that's how long your fans been waiting. 6 goddamn years, all right? You say you want to tour the world when you drop your album. Why you couldn't do that the first album, which was very successful? Again, most artists make majority of their money or bulk of their money comes from tours. So even Latte and GloRilla have done tours. So what's really your excuse? So I don't think, or what GloRilla is doing a tour, about to do a tour. Latte already done her tour. So I do think Cardi is scared, okay? I wouldn't say, well, I really wouldn't say scared, but I definitely think she is nervous because she wants to outdo her first album and have it be as successful, if not even more successful. And I think that she feels as if, you know, she knows that's kind of a reach because her fans couldn't even manage to keep Hot Shit on Billboard. And that was supposed to be a single for the album, which is alleged to be coming early next year. And if that's the case, how are you going to be physically and mentally prepared by then if you're saying you have to get yourself mentally and physically prepared now? 2023 is a little over a month away, weeks away. So you're going to be ready to tour in hypothetically 8 to 12 weeks. Okay. So, I mean, I believe Cardi is looking at the state of female rap and looking at these sales the rap girls aren't putting up, and seeing her own record drop off Billboard was probably a disappointment for her, which is why she has been promoting her Tomorrow 2 song with GloRilla so heavily, because people like that song and it's something that's sticking for Cardi right now since Cold Shit couldn't do it. So Cardi knows she owes Atlantic another album. I don't know why she acting like she can do shit when she want, or just not drop an album. Like, these people can't just drop your ass from their label, which is why they're making her put out this album, because in all honesty, I don't even think Cardi really wants to do music anymore. I just don't think she wants to look like a loser. She feels as if she has something to prove, so she's going to keep putting out, you know, a quick 2-second singles before going back to the drawing boards to come up with something else that works for her in that moment. Because you can't convince me that the reason you haven't dropped your second studio album is because you're still eating off of your first. Bitch, you still gonna be eating off of it even if you make more music and put out more albums. In fact, you would even have more to so-called eat off of. Like, why do you think you wouldn't still be eating off your album and Diamond Records if you put out another album? Okay, so I know that's not the reason why she hasn't put out an album, so she can save that pile of shit for someone else who looks like Boo Boo the goddamn fool. Okay, so on top of that, you can only make so much money from streams off an album, because you gotta, you know, pay the distributor, the labels, the writers, the producers, sound engineers, your team. And let's not get into the fact that half these hoes in 360 deals as it is. So I also find something interesting about what Academics had posted to his Twitter today. So Academics had said, damn, Atlantic Records went from being hella lit a few years ago to being shit. They literally threw in the towel on marketing and promoting their artists. They just buying wild amounts of fake views, which making their artists look even worse. I heard after WMG, which is Warner Music Group, announced its IPO, several execs were up for some damn near 9-figure digit paydays, which helped to incentivize labels like Atlantic Records to be cheap as fuck, relying on old catalog rather than keep spending to push and promote new shit. Profit makes stock price increase. I say that all to say, I pray for the rest of you niggas still on Atlantic Records, unless you top priority, which is probably like 2 to 4 artists. Now, I am not an Academics fan in the slightest, and I find him actually to be problematic as fuck. But in this instance here, I definitely do agree with him, because truth is truth no matter who it's coming from. So Academics is basically saying that Atlantic is getting lazy when it comes to most of their artists ever since Warner Music Group went public and became cheaper and execs started making more money. So instead of using that extra money to go towards marketing their artists, they're just going the cheap route and paying for views and bots, which is very evident when you look in the comment sections of these artists' videos and in their engagement on Instagram and Twitter. And instead of using that extra money to promote and push new music for their artists, they're just, you know, using their old music. So it look at Cardi's Hot Shit, for example. Like, that song was recorded back in 2019, 2020, and you can even hear Lil Durk mention it in the verse that he did on that song. So that song was old. It was supposed to come out years ago and never did. That was supposed to be a new single for Cardi, but instead of pushing new music, they got her releasing 2-year-old songs. So it got me wondering if this new upcoming album that she has is just going to be a bunch of old music she's been recording over the past 4 or 5 years. Okay, so I definitely believe Academics about Atlantic, and the main artists they seem to be pushing right now is like Jack Harlow and Lizzo. So let me know how you feel about all of this, and do you feel like Cardi is scared to put out her second album? Okay. Now, the next topic I want to get into is Saweetie. So I already touched on this a bit in my last video, but the internet has not seemed to let up on Saweetie and this whole selling 2,000 copies ordeal as it pertains to her EP that dropped last week. So a lot of people have put in their opinion on Saweetie and her little sales. DJ Vlad even came forward and said this: if Saweetie did a Vlad TV interview, she would have easily done 10 times her first week sales, which was 2,000 copies. We actually reached out through one of our people and we're told she won't do Vlad. Her loss. Now, I did not like this. For one, I don't like when someone who is not a black person who has been invited and accepted into the hip hop community in our space trying to talk down and make Saweetie look and feel bad when I'm sure she's already feeling a type of way about the internet writing think pieces about her. Like, with all due respect, I ain't about to let no Caucasian man gaslight me about my sales because I didn't come on his corny ass show. But anyway, Saweetie did respond to this tweet and said this: "Actually, I've been a big fan and have screen recorded my favorite episodes. Here's one of them. Dates on the top. So if anyone's quote unquote reached out, it wasn't me or my team. DJ Vlad. Happy Thanksgiving." So I did think this was a classy response, but I also think this tweet may kind of have hurt Saweetie's feelings on top of that, just a little bit. But on top of that, there has been a viral tweet that has started this never-ending think piece about her sales amongst female rappers in general. And, so the tweet really, started this whole rah-rah situation that has been ongoing the past 2 days. So this is what the tweet had said: 13 million followers, hundreds and thousands of likes on pictures, but album sold less than 2,000 copies. That's crazy. The math ain't adding up. If I had millions of followers and my album sold less than 2K, I probably would just delete all my social media because y'all lying to me. And I found a few issues with this tweet. For one, followers don't really equate to sales, and that's for anyone, big and small businesses included. You will see some businesses, IG pages with 500K followers and see only like $2,000 in sales in one day, because people follow people in businesses for different reasons. They may like the content or the lifestyle that person lives, or just like that person as a social media personality, okay? And Saweetie definitely has a likable social media presence. She definitely has that luxurious lifestyle that a lot of girls may gravitate to because of the aesthetic, and she is a good businesswoman to follow. So none of the reasons I have mentioned thus far relates to her music. So there's probably not many of her followers who are following her because of her music. And Saweetie is a beautiful girl, but when it comes to her music, she is not and has not ever been a quote unquote body of work kind of artist, meaning she might put out a cute bop or two and some singles, but when it comes to releasing a whole project or a body of work, it's not something that one would listen to like a Beyonce album or a Nicki album. So it wouldn't sell like that anyways. But if Saweetie made an OnlyFans and posted a sexy ass video, she would do 2 albums worth of money in sales easily, because Saweetie is a beautiful girl. So a lot of her followers are also probably a lot of men who just lust after her but not necessarily checking for her music, especially when sis can't really rap. Okay, let's keep it a buck. Like Drake said, she's a 10 trying to rap, it's good on mute. So you can't equate followers to sales unless most of your followers are fans of your music. Another issue I have with this tweet is Saweetie ain't doing nothing different than these rap girls are. Ain't none of them really selling except for Doja Cat and Nicki. Because let's talk about it, none of the mainstream rap girls is, really doing it like that, other than Nicki Minaj. And as far as doing 100K in album sales first week, only Nicki is putting up them type of numbers. Megan ain't selling like that. Her album did 60K first week, and she's a 3-time Grammy winner with 30 million followers, and only 60,000 of your fans bought your album within the first week of it dropping. Is suspect. Latte dropped her second album back in March, and it didn't even crack 30K in the first week, but she has almost 10 million followers and got almost 100K likes on a tweet where she was coming for Nicki Minaj, but you selling 30,000 copies on your second album, okay? And that was with music videos and heavy promotion and radio play. Y'all don't think Latte would have sold 2,000, if not less, had she did a surprise release with no videos and no promotion like Saweetie did? Because Saweetie did not really promote this project, nor did she put out any music videos or lyric videos, and I don't even know if she sending any of these songs to radio for that matter. But if the girls are doing these low album sales with videos and with promotion, they could easily be like Saweetie with these 2K sales if they did what she did too. Ain't none of these girls even cracking 100K in sales, and these bitches is being nominated for Grammys, winning Grammys and other awards, but not selling their own music. So if we're going to talk about Saweetie, we need to talk about all of them and their low ass sales, okay? GloRilla just released her EP. She's Grammy nominated right now and winning all these awards, being heavily pushed, and she didn't even do 30K first week, okay? Coi Leray did less than that with her debut album. She did 11K in sales on an album that was, put out by a major label, pushed, given a budget and promotion and music videos, and nobody wanted to do think pieces on that. So, I definitely think it's an issue within the industry that these girls are really just not taking the time to develop their own fan base, which is another reason why touring and exposure is so important, not just likability. Because when it comes down to it, the fans are the ones purchasing the music, the fans are the one downloading and streaming the music, the fans are the one that's attending the tours, the shows, the concerts, and the fans are the one buying the merch. So unless an an artist has a solid ass fan base, they will never truly quote unquote flourish. Word to my girl Latte, who claimed that these rap girlies is flourishing. Baby, these sales are on the flow. So I guess you truly are flourishing, okay? I saw a video on Twitter that basically said these new rap girls are more so influencers who decided to one day get in the studio and spit a few bars. And honestly, that's what it's giving. They have these big social media followings, this high engagement, brand deals, dripped in the latest fashion, but release music that goes double bricks, okay? It's like they're doing music as a pastime or something to, you know, get extra money, or doing music just to say they're doing music, because it's like damn near everybody want to rap now, and not even 5% are even good at it. And you can tell who's passionate about it and who's not. And a lot of these girls are not. A lot of them not even pushing their own pen. They just pretty faces reciting words handed to them. And it's funny because Saweetie just did an interview talking about female rappers running rap right now. They might be dropping more music and making more noise, but they are definitely not selling more. And I think so many of them have become so caught up in their social media following and their social media presence and these brand deals that they lost focus on honing in on, you know, organically growing a fan base, because their labels are so quick to pay for bots and views to manipulate the public into thinking that these artists are so much hotter than what they really are, which is a big problem going on with Atlantic right now, and they're being called out about it. Okay, so now, Saweetie did respond to some of this criticism by taking to Twitter to say, "Hate parade, I must be that bitch. I make music for pretty bitches. If you can't relate, I understand." So, I mean, I can't applaud Saweetie for, you know, standing up for herself or whatever and keeping her head held up high as she should. However, I do get a bit irritated when the rap girls claim to have a hate parade or a hate train, when in reality, people just ain't really fucking with their music. Let me know your thoughts on that. Now, the next topic I want to get into is people coming for Nicki Minaj after 130 of Latte's songs were leaked. Many people are looking to place blame on Nicki Minaj and even trying to flip the fact that Latte got caught using a ghostwriter to Nicki Minaj and her writing ability. So the hashtag Nicki wrote it has been trending on Twitter. So nobody should ever really question Nicki Minaj's pen. What she has shown us time and time again that she is very capable of writing her raps, and that she is the only one who really does write her raps, okay, for a fact that we know of. There has been men in the studio with her who have verified this time and time again. She has written her raps. There's a video footage and documentary of her, you know, writing her raps. And on top of that, we have seen, you know, Nicki freestyle, and that is a testament in its own that she is capable of sitting down and coming up with more clever lyrics to say if she's capable with quickly coming up with something off the dome. So she is not some ABC ass subpar ass femc. She gonna make you think, and a lot of her shit goes over one's head. A nigga couldn't write her shit, because these ghostwriters, these rap girls do not have half of her intelligence to write what she writes. It do not be giving what it's supposed to give, okay? So you can see the difference like night and day when it comes to Nicki's raps and these other girls. Now, other female artists, you know, who aren't mainstream are pushing their pen and are pretty good, but, you know, Flo Milli, Doechii, and Omeretta are a few, but, you know, Onika's flow is just so diverse, and her punchlines are just too witty, her bars are too clever, her cadence is too unique for her to ever let one or multiple niggas write her shit. And I do think, you know, having rappers who write should be distinguished from rappers who recite. The two should not be in the same awards category. They should not garner the same respect. They should not be in the same conversation when it comes to best rappers or lyricists. There should be a whole category of their own, okay? We should have rappers and we should have reciters. They should be called, you know, just what they are, which is reciters, because that's what they do. And the ones who write are the ones who will be called the rappers, okay? That's how I think. Because that's also, you know, what plays a part in fans, because real hip-hop fans are usually going to gravitate to and buy and stream the music of those who actually write and push their pen, because I know I do. But let me know your thoughts on that below. Now, the last topic I want to get into is a viral tweet pertaining to rapper Amaretto the Great and GloRilla. So as we all know, GloRilla has just recently blown up after one of her viral songs, FNF, have went viral. And Omeretta has been doing her thing since like 2017. So the tweet said this: "I feel like Omeretta was supposed to be big like GloRilla." Then Omeretta did respond to this tweet and said, "Y'all hoes weird." Then another fan responded and said, I think she was complimenting you and giving you credit, something that a lot of folks ain't doing for you apparently." Then we see Amaretto respond and say this: "Girl, bye, I read the comments, shit was backhanded." So it's very clear Amaretto was not feeling the initial tweet and the discourse that followed in the comments, which was a lot of comparing her to GloRilla. And let me just say, this was definitely a backhanded compliment, and I can see why Amaretto was annoyed by the tweet. And this was a tweet that had pretty high engagement, okay? It had almost 3,000 retweets and 20,000 likes, so it's not like it was some little ass comment she searched for on the internet. However, a lot of times in situations like this, it's not meant to be backhanded, but when you are comparing someone to somebody else, you can't really expect for them to take that as a really, compliment. At the same time, it is natural to compare artists in the same industry and genre, just like you would compare different brands or different businesses or different products, or really anything for that matter. So, I mean, she kind of gonna have to get used to comparisons and not really give it too much of her energy, even if she finds it a little bit weird. However, since the conversation was started and the tweet was made, I found a few problems with this comparison, okay? So, I think Omeretta is where Omeretta is supposed to be, and GloRilla is where GloRilla is supposed to be. They are who they are and accomplish what they have accomplished in their own right. For one, GloRilla telling the girls to be fuck nigga free. Meanwhile, Omeretta actively and promotedly holding down a nigga doing a bid in a clean chair. Okay, okay. But nah, I mean, Omeretta been doing her thing since 2017. So she should have really been popped off for one. But, up until recently, she really wasn't signed to a major label. I believe she is now with 300 Entertainment, I want to say, or, under their umbrella. And even still, she is not really popping off when we're talking about, being mainstream. And two, not a lot of niggas listening to Amaretto, whereas GloRilla got the girls and the niggas turning up to her shit. Amaretto even said herself she makes music for so-called quote-unquote real bitches only. So that takes away certain demographics alone when it comes to fans and eventually sales and promotion. Number 3 is that Omeretta put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths and even lost some fans when she came out with that viral Not Atlanta, Sorry Not Sorry song. And, she started naming hoods that she really didn't consider to be Atlanta. And a lot of folks was feeling some type of way, and even had the likes of her peers like Latte feeling some type of way, in my opinion, even though she tried to play it off like she was a kikiing at it. But, she felt some type of way, okay? Because Omeretta mentioned Clayco not really being a part of Atlanta when Latte loves to claim Clayco as Atlanta. And 4, Omeretta might can rap, but her shit is not really catchy, okay? Her shit is more in-depth and personal and lyrical. And even though she is talented, she is very talented, talent is not what is really in right now. It's coming back slowly and surely, but it's not really in right now, because what's in is the catchy, quick, hot TikTok singles, and shit can be played in the club or on the radio. And Amaretto really isn't making that type of music because she's not catering to that type of audience, okay? And 5, Omeretta can come across as being not very likable, okay? I mean, I have seen several people say she has a bad attitude whenever she does make it being posted to the blogs, and she put a bad taste in the Barb's mouths. And let's just keep it a buck. When it comes to female rap, the Barbs can have an impact on your career, because they make these girls come out and respond to their tweets, claims, TikToks. They press Nicki about the issue. They let their fans fuel their issues with Nicki Minaj, and they have impacts, the Barbs have impact, on the girls' fan voted awards, their sales, their streams, because they are such a large fan base. And when you piss off the Barbs, it's because you actively did something to go against Nicki. And fans have called out Omeretta time and time again for shit. Nicki Minaj. She was even caught in the likes of the Shade Room's post when they posted NLE Choppa and Latte's shady tweets to Nicki Minaj. So, these are all reasons why Omeretta is where she is, and where she's supposed to be, and why GloRilla is where she's supposed to be. And I haven't really even mentioned the fact that Omeretta does not even attempt to appeal to the mainstream media. And she has said that herself. So, I just don't think these two should really be getting compared. If you are going to compare her to anyone, I think it should be more so Asian Doll. They've been doing their shit around the same amount of time and are both in the same, position. With the exception of Asian, now being independent, but, at one point she was signed with Gucci Mane. So they both act pretty similar and kind of do the same kind of music. So that would have been a more logical comparison, in my opinion, instead of trying to compare, her to the likes of GloRilla, someone who is being pushed by the industry, and comparing her to someone who is not being heavily promoted to make them appear smaller, So Omeretta just dropped a whole EP like last week. Are y'all checking with it? Y'all fucking with it? Like, is anyone talking about it? But who dropped an EP everyone is talking about, though, good or bad? Saweetie, okay? Because she is considered to be more mainstream and is on a bigger label. But let me know your thoughts on that below. So remember, this is my commentary and my opinion. You can let me know yours below. I look forward to reading your thoughts. Don't forget to give this video that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and lounge with me on my socials at Southern Tea. That's Southern Tea with 2 A's at the end. I will see you in my next video.